What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Sergeant Moose here, back with another The Texas Chainsaw Massacre video. And in today's video, guys, I want to do an overview of another family member known as the Cook. So, guys, we've covered Leatherface so far. We've covered Hitchhiker here on the channel. There are 3 playable family members in the game as of right now in the technical test. Now, the Cook is probably my favorite to use, and there's a few reasons behind that. I think that the Cook is a very good early game character, pretty much before you get Grandpa leveled up by feeding him blood, things like that. The Cook has a lot of tools to not only ensure that you can find the survivors better than the other family members, but you can also lock doors upstairs behind you so that victims have a harder time escaping the house. So a few important things that I've noticed, guys, after playing all 3 family members pretty extensively throughout the technical test is it seems that each one of the 3 have their positioning on the map where they should be kind of getting things done. They should be setting things up to try to cut the survivors off and take them down. For instance, the Hitchhiker seems to be more focused on the outside of the house where he should be turning on generators, setting up traps, different things like that, just in case the survivors manage to get out and try to escape. Whereas Leatherface, he starts out in the basement. He's pretty much your early game kill character. If he gets lucky enough, find some survivors early game, he can definitely help out pretty early, get them down, get them out of the game right off the bat. Now the Cook, he starts inside of the house, on the main floor of the house. He's the guy that you want to kind of lock down the main floor. You want to get all those main doors padlocked up, make it harder for survivors to get out of the house. Now, he does have a very, very interesting mechanic that I really, really like with him. He has a hearing mechanic, and essentially it is a hearing radius detector that he pretty much just opens up his ear and he can look around and he will hear a survivor moving. And if you can pinpoint that survivor exactly where they're kind of moving around and making noise, it will put an aura around them and mark them, thus making them a lot easier to find. So this is where I think the Cook, in my opinion, is one of the best family members in this technical test, simply because he has the best tools for finding, locating, and marking the survivors better than the other family members. Now, the Cook does come equipped with 3 padlocks right out of the gate. Again, I'm not sure if that's going to change with the skill trees and the loadouts and different things like that in the finalized version of the game. But as of right now, he comes with 3 padlocks, and he does, of course, have unlimited usage of his ability. Now, it does go into cooldown, of course, but it is important as the Cook that when you're using your padlock, you're using them on the right things. For instance, the main door. Sometimes some of the basement doors, if the survivors are moving kind of quickly, Grandpa gets woken up, things like that. You have to kind of be calculative in how you're going to be using your padlocks with the Cook. But again, they can be very effective, and they can add another element to slow down the survivors in trying to, ultimately escape. So another thing I like to talk about too, guys, is communication. I've mentioned it before in previous videos. Family member communication is key. If you can chat with your family member, one thing this game desperately, I think, kind of revolves around is actually voice chatting with your teammates from both sides. Because it's going to be so much better. You're going to be so more synergized with each other in finding the survivors. For instance, if I locate a survivor as the Cook, mark them with an aura, things like that. Maybe the other family members don't exactly, know when I've marked them or anything like that. So I can communicate with them, hey, he's down there, she's over here, she's outside here, go get her. You know what I mean? Things like that. So I think voice chat is going to be key in this game. It does have voice chat, but I think for teams to be successful on both sides, definitely better to be communicating with your teammates. Again, it's a 3-person killer game, not just 1. So communication is key. But yes, as for the Cook, guys, in my opinion, his ability is very, very effective. Obviously, early game, once you get Grandpa leveled up with blood, it becomes easier and easier over time to kind of snuff out the survivors with any of the 3 family members. But early game especially, man, if you could be communicating with Leatherface, especially in that basement, get them survivors marked when they're making noise, and have Leatherface go to town on them, it's going to make things so much easier for the family members. Now, a few things I did want to note about the Cook, guys. He does have his disadvantages, again, because of his abilities are so strong. He is probably the slowest of the three current family members that are playable right now, and he doesn't have a lot of stamina. So if you're getting in a chase with a survivor, you definitely want to be aware of how your stamina is, because they can outrun you very, very easily. So I think the key with him is to kind of snuff them out, sneak up on them, try to sneak up on them, or have the other family members kind of flank them and take them down that way. I wouldn't trust the Cook over the other two in an all-out chase with the survivors. So he can't go through cracks in the wall like the hitchhiker can. He can't go through crawl spaces, things like that. So he can have a difficult time traversing obstacles and ultimately catching the survivors. Now, I did want to mention too, he can close certain traps, like the holes in the walls, things like that. He can close them, which the survivors can open up, but that is another element that's going to slow them down. So that's effective there. But yeah, guys, in a nutshell, man, the Cook is probably one of the three family members that I've had the most success with and the most fun with. He's not, just all-out brainless fun like Leatherface, and he's not as quick as the hitchhiker, but he has a lot of tools in his arsenal, and I think in the final product of the game, he's going to probably be one of the most effective and most used family members. I can definitely see that. But with that said, guys, that is the third of the 3 killer overview videos of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We, of course, have lots of content, guys. I've been playing the hell out of this tech test. I have hours and hours of content. We're going to be talking some Survivor, too. There is a lot of stuff we're going to get on with the victim portion of the game, but we do have a lot more killer stuff to talk about, so definitely be checking back, guys. We're going to have a lot more videos here for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre here in the future, and we also got a lot of stuff coming for the summer, too, in anticipation for release of the game. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Cook overview. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre content. My name's Sergeant Moose. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care.